We have some big news from DC. James Gunn has gone on the record yesterday and has confirmed several projects, said that several projects are now put on the back burner, confirmed several things about the new DCU Batman, as well as took a pretty interesting picture with someone you may recognize.
So last week, I believe it was over the weekend, right? I think it was Friday. James Gunn posted a picture of him with Zack Snyder, and that, for the most part, sent the internet in flames. So there's a lot of Snyder fans, and there are a lot of Gunn fans. And what happened was that, when fans saw that picture, including us, we were like, couldn't help but wonder, are these two working together? What kind of we started brainstorming, like, what do you think that Zach's gonna do? I remember Zach mentioning that if he were to come back, he'd only be interested in doing a direct adaptation of The Dark Knight Returns. And so started talking about that. A couple of other YouTubers, won't name names, but they jumped the gun a little bit and they were like, "No, guys, big announcement coming next week. It's going to be huge." Even our source was like, "Dude, it's going to be a week for announcements over at DC." Some very famous YouTubers were claiming that, Zach was going to be working. I mean, why else would you take a picture with him? And it was funny because James Gunn, hate him or love him, that dude came out and he was like, I just took a picture with an old friend. It was really just to fuck with the fans. I got a laugh of it.
I
I thought
appreciate
it
it.
was, I thought it was funny. Um, I like the fact that my mind did inevitably start, spinning off and wondering what in the hell they could be working on together. But it's funny to see that it's just two dudes who admire one another and took a picture together, and it got the internet talking about it.
Yeah, I love that. I love that he has a sense of humor, and honestly, I support it. That was well done. And moving on to some bad news. Well, maybe bad news, depending on your perspective. So, James Gunn has confirmed that several projects are now put on the back burner. As he has come out and said, yeah, these characters are a little bit more obscure. We're moving forward with more well-known characters, and maybe we jumped the gun a little bit. So the following projects have been put on the back burner. We have the Amanda Waller show, we have the Authority, Swamp Thing, Booster Gold. Those are all being pushed back. However, Sergeant Rock, Teen Titans, and some projects we'll get to in a little bit are still being pushed forward and are still being worked on. And of course, you still have the projects that are actively in production, such as Lanterns and Supergirl. Frankly, I'm pretty okay with this. I feel like most of those shows we really didn't need right now. I feel like three out of four of them I'm really okay with. We'll probably still get them later, potentially, but I think right now it's definitely a great decision to put those to the side because they really needed to.
One of the things that Griff and I have always talked about, and even myself with amongst other friends, is I couldn't wrap my head around the fact that for me and for my inner circle, having a DC universe without your three big guns, which are we are having a Superman movie coming out later this year. From the trailer, looks great. But what if you have Superman and you don't have Batman and you don't have Wonder Woman? And it's not that because I've been told this a lot by a lot of people, some comic book diehard fans, some fans that are just casual. They're like, "Dude, Edward, you need to understand, DC's not just Batman, Superman, and Wonder Woman." I get that 100%. Believe me, I do. DC does have a roster of other very interesting heroes. One of them not being the fucking Question. I just needed to get that out there. But I couldn't wrap my head around why in the name of God were we going to get an Amanda Waller show? And this is not any mud thrown at Viola Davis, who I think is a phenomenal actress and everything she fucking does. I think she's great. And I love her as fucking Amanda Waller, by the way. Uh, I do think that it was smart to bring her back from the previous iterations. But why we were going to get an Amanda Waller show or a fucking Booster Gold show, which, Booster Gold fans, if you're out there, forgive me, but I honestly couldn't give two fucks about Booster Gold on a
I was
Tuesday
so excited. I
and
love
why
the
we
actor
were
they put into it too.
why we were going to get that. And it's fine that we are. It's not that if you're not interested in it, it's gonna fail. No, it's not that. It's just it's fine that we're getting it. It's just that why the fuck were we gonna get any of these before Batman the Brave and the Bold,
Exactly.
Wonder Woman, or just a Justice League movie? Or if I'd rather, and I mean this 100%, if I can't have Batman come out soon, rather than me see Booster fucking Gold or Amanda Waller or Swamp. I love Swamp Thing, guys. By the way, I mean I've read the comics. I'm a big fan of what Alan Moore did with it. I even like the '80s Swamp Thing movies, particularly the Return of Swamp Thing, the second one. But I don't need to see Swamp Thing before I see Batman. Either one of the two fucking Batmans, where it's Matt Reeves is the Batman 2, or whoever the hell is going to do Brave and the Bold. So that was my issue with it. And Griffin and I discussed that at length. Is like, why are we getting these projects? Like, for instance, Paradise Lost. I still don't think I need a show about Themyscira and a bunch of Amazon. If you're moving away from Gal, which I think is pretty evidently the case now, there's still there's at least three very solid names that are being thrown out there. And I agree with at least two of them that would be good for Wonder Woman.
Yeah.
But do I need a show about just a prequel to Wonder Woman, essentially, is what it is. Let's be honest. I don't really think I do. I've been complaining, I've been bitching about James Gunn for the last 7 months straight, probably every other day. And to hear him come out and say, because he did come out and say it, this is him on video. You guys can go look for it. This is him coming out and saying, "Hey guys, you know what? Yeah, we had all this stuff in the back burner. We pushed it to the front, but you know what? We're going to give priority to what needs priority." Which, in my opinion, this pisses people off, but it is Batman. It is Teen Titans. It is fucking. I still don't like the fact that we're probably going to get a Clayface movie before Batman the Brave and the Bold or the Batman 2, but who knows? So while we're already talking about Batman, and I could talk about Batman, as you guys know, all day, every day, Gunn did come out and say that Robert Pattinson will not and is not the main DCU Batman. But he ends it, go check it out, by literally saying, at least for now. Well, that's been the case for the last 4 or 5 months. They're still, at least they're still contemplating. Look, it's very evident that someone back there with a lot more pull is at least whispering in both Gunn and Reeves's ears, saying, "Hey guys, look, it would just be easier." Would it? I think it would. Does he fit? I don't think he fits. But at least it's still on the table. So for any YouTubers or any TikTokers that you guys are out there saying, "No, no, no, it's done. Robert Pattinson will not be the," read the fine print, watch the whole fucking interview. He said, at least for now. So they're still working on it. It's still working on the script for the Batman Part 2. It's supposed to start filming this fall. We'll see. That could change. Batman is a priority. Both Batmans are a priority. Whether or not they'll be merged into one, we'll see. I kind of hope not. He talked a little bit too about Batman the Brave and the Bold, which I like because I haven't heard anything other than the Andy Muschietti stuff in the last 4 months. James Gunn confirms that he is heavily involved in working with the script with another writer that he will not name. And I'm not the only guy on the internet saying this. I think it's James Gunn just writing the script, which I'd be totally okay with because for all my issues that I have with Gunn, the guy's an amazing writer and he's an amazing director. But I think him not naming the other writer, why the hell wouldn't he name the other writer? It's just, let's be honest.
Yeah.
If tomorrow we get confirmation that James Gunn is directing Batman the Brave and the Bold based on just what I've seen from the Guardians of the Galaxy trilogy and Superman, I'd be totally okay with that shit. Would I want someone else? Yeah, but if he's doing it, great. And he could do it. He's the boss, so what's going to stop him? He says that it's its own thing. Batman, it's still Batman the Brave and the Bold, and he gave a little update on it. It's still very centered around Batman finding out that he has a 12-year-old, 14-year-old son, Damian Wayne, aka the new Robin, which I fucking love. I dig that. He claims that it's still going to be very big and very comic book oriented, and that it's ties in with Clayface. And if Clayface is going to be what they claim it's going to be, then I'm totally okay with it. Look, there's plenty of guys. We have a whole video on who could play Batman for the DCU. I want to add maybe 2, 3 names to the list, but I'm excited for Batman. I'm excited. I do want it to be its own thing, Batman the Brave and the Bold and Batman part two. Just because I don't think Pattinson fits this. He did give an update on Andy Muschietti. He said that as soon as the script is done, he will be the first person to read the script, which the way I'm taking it is Andy's out. It'll be just more to kind of like a courtesy, like be like, look, this is their script. I really don't, and I have no insight on this. I want to be honest. I'm not claiming that, oh, I was in the room and or I overheard it from such person. That's bullshit. What at least the vibe that I'm getting is that they're moving away from Andy. But that they will share the script as soon as it's finished. Hopefully, they'll be finished soon. He says heavily working on it.
And not to mention that it's all going to lead to a Batman and Superman World's Finest, which he's alluding to it. And that has not been confirmed, but heavily alluding to that, which should be really fucking cool.
Another thing that Clayface. They've said this now several times. It's going to be a horror, a body horror movie. I've always thought of Clayface that way, especially from Batman the Animated Series, seeing his transformation, the tragedy behind it, and things like that. I like that. I can't say I'm excited for it because again,
Kind of see if they pull it off. It's hard.
I think they will, given what we saw with the Penguin. I know that they're two very different animals. But it's kind of like this Sony Spider-Verse for me. Batman villains without Batman. I am that guy that does need to see Batman, in his with his villains. It just this even with the Penguin. One of our biggest complaints with the Penguin, as great as that show was he doesn't even get fucking mentioned,
At least
which
Creature
made no
Commandos
goddamn
mentioned him,
sense.
and we saw him.
Exactly. Creature Commandos, for as much as I didn't like the show, it mentioned him and we saw him. The fact that he was never mentioned in Penguin, not even Bruce Wayne was mentioned. We get a fucking bat signal towards the very end. It was lame. It's just it makes no sense. Why would he not be there? What is he on fucking vacation? It's just, so same thing here. We're like you're telling me that a vigilante who spends his nights going after villains and solving crimes and riddles wouldn't be aware of a Clayface monster and wouldn't be after him? It's fucking weird. It's
And continuing on with some good news, some projects he has confirmed. He has confirmed for those who have seen My Adventures of Superman. If you haven't seen it, go check it out. They are going to be making more shows in the style of that. Starting off, they're going to do My Adventures with Green Lantern, which will follow Jessica Cruz, Green Lantern, as a high school student. I like Jessica Cruz. I'm a huge fan of Green Lantern. Totally okay with that. They're also making an animated Starfire TV show, which we do not know as much about so far. It looks to just be their classic origins. And we are getting a DC Superpowers show, which kind of seems to be kind of like an X-Men Academy sort of thing, where it takes place in the Alliance School for Superheroes and they follow Lightning, Flash, Plastic Man, Aquagirl, Green Lantern, and Terra as they attempt to level up their superpowers under the supervision of Principal Martian Manhunter. I feel like out of all of these, it's the one that's kind of the least favorite, but I'm really excited for the first two. And he has confirmed with this that DC Studios plans to release two animated shows per year, two live action shows, two live action films, and one animated film per year. Personally, I think it's a little bit too much. I've said the same thing with Marvel. I say the same thing here. I miss when it was like 2 to 4 projects a year. I don't want 7 projects a year from either studio. I hope it's good, but when you put out so much content like that, there are bound to be some that just suck.
he did. I do want to add this. He did say that if at any time they felt like one of these or two of these isn't up to the level they need it to, or they can't get it to the quality of it, then they'll push it back.
Yeah,
This is the slate, but it could change. And I appreciate him. I don't know if he's had a talk with his wife or Peter was like, let's not announce a lot of shit, and if we are, let's just maybe put in parentheses that shit could change. I appreciate them doing that because the thing with DC and Marvel before is they've announced a ton of shit, and then like some of that doesn't get made because. But I do appreciate Gunn saying, yeah, it could change, guys. I mean, this is the plan. But there are bumps along the road. I appreciate him being transparent in that way because he hasn't been
yeah.
transparent before. Yesterday he was transparent. Yesterday was like, look, Robert isn't going to be our Batman, our main DCU Batman for now. I like that he's saying that because at least now, if in the end, which I kind of think it will be, they announced that Robert Pattinson is the DCU Batman. At least I'm speaking for myself. I can't be like, God damn it, Gunn, you fucking lied. No, because the guy said it's not. It's not the plan. They plan to cast their own DCU Batman, but things sometimes along the way changes and things like that. It's kind of like when Kevin Feige's like, yeah, a lot of the shit that he said at the beginning of the MCU, and now he's like, yeah, that was always part of how it was going to be. No, it wasn't. I remember one of the things was he said that he wanted Iron Man to be recast every couple of years by a new actor, kind of like James Bond. That was the plan. Clearly, that's not what So things don't always go as planned. But the fact that he's being transparent, the fact that he's saying, "Look, this is what we want," but maybe things can change. Okay, I can get behind that. I can say, "Oh, the dude did say back when fucking February that for now, but things could change."
Thank you guys so much for watching. If you're as excited as we are for upcoming DCU projects, and we're really excited for Brave and the Bold, and you haven't checked our DCU fan cast for Batman yet, please go check that out. Let us know what your thoughts are on these recent DC updates, and thank you guys so much for watching.
Take care, guys.